we can't but bring to you the views of former President Olusegun Obasanjo as he spoke at an event marking his 73rd birthday ceremony in Abeokuta just some couple of days ago. And Obasanjo's statement, as we are going to hear, of course, could be a direct response to statements credited to the PDP and, of course, the secrecy surrounding the whereabouts of President Olusegun Obasanjo. President Umar Yar'Adua. Let's hear the former president.
And I'm not ambitious to be one. Otherwise, Senator David Mark may be getting worried. But the truth is this country has all that it needs to be a great country. This country has all that it needs to be a great country. If we fail, we should blame ourselves. Now we end on the note of what a friend of mine said. He came one day and he was fed up with everything and said, look, this country has let us pray for Nigeria. He said, you are part of this nonsense? I said, what nonsense? No, when God has given you everything and you've messed it up and you are praying, God will not answer your prayer. I said, no. Don't put it that way. God is a patient God. It's a prayer answering God. And God has a way of giving you not only second chance, He even gives you third chance. And who knows? If you pray, God will give you, mess it up the first time, give you a second chance, maybe a third chance. But then if we do not make it, now you people say, yes, I say things. At times I don't say. Not every time. But when I have to say, I say. And the reason is this. What else am I waiting for? What else am I asking for? Is it because I want to make name, that's why I won't say what has to be said? Is it because I want to be popular? Is it because I want to? So what is it? Whatever has to be said by me, when it has to be said, I will say it. Whatever has to be done by me, whenever it has to be done, I will do it. Well, here you are saying Yabo. If I die today, hey, my dead don't reach you, we keep him plenty. Cow will be, one cow here, this one will bring, that one will bring. Then what else am I going to do? If it has to happen, so be it. But then, it will be said of us that what needs to be said, what needs to be done, is done when we know that it needs to be done. Look, this country belongs to all of us. Nobody, no group have right to appropriate this country to themselves. Whether you are legislators, whether you are ministers, whatever you are, wherever you come from, we all have a stake in this country. And it is our responsibility to join hands and make it good. If anybody fails, then he has himself to blame. I will not be found wanting when it comes up. Thank you very much.
All right, whatever has to be said by him will be said. Whatever has to be done will be done by him. That's the newborn, or is it born again, Obasanjo, a man generally held responsible for the current situation in the country, but who has been at pains to explain that he meant well. It is indeed an uphill task for Chief Obasanjo, or perhaps a mission impossible now for him, to explain how he launched needless wars of attrition against his then deputy, Atiku Abubakar, simply because he did not want him to succeed him. Then took it upon himself to decide who became what in the 2007 elections, from local government chairmen to senators and House of Representatives members. And then the big one, the presidency. no matter how hard Obasanjo tells it, and no matter who it tells it to, the truth is that former President Obasanjo decided who succeeded him, and in the process, he deceived many of his pikins, among them Peter Odili as well, a man who had put in everything to campaign for the party's ticket, but was told to perish the idea. The result is what all of us are paying for today. So how can Obasanjo not be mentioned anytime you are talking about the present situation in Nigeria? That all these are happening, perhaps, is also an opportunity for an atonement that the grand old Ota farmer needs. But back to the Ota event itself, it was a well-attended birthday party, and among the dignitaries is Senate President David Mark, who justified the lawmakers' position that Jonathan, acting President Jonathan, has enough space to move as acting president. Now, all these statements, including all that has been happening in the last 2 weeks, underscore the fact that the polity is not okay at all. The nation is not at ease, and we cannot and must not pretend over this. From the politicians to those holding elective and appointive positions of public trust, the talk is about whether President Yar'Adua's state of health is serious enough for him to voluntarily resign, be declared incapable of performing the functions of office, or be impeached. The implication of the situation at hand is that Nigeria has an ailing president who cannot perform his duties. Then we also have an acting president who, in the practical sense of it, cannot exercise full control because he's being constantly reminded that there is a president whom he has not seen for over 100 days, but in whose name a group is exercising power. Last week, it was reported that a group of 12 cabinet ministers wrote a joint memo to the acting president insisting that the acting president cannot assert himself, cannot change or effect changes in the cabinet. They also told him that he is more or less an acting president in name only and must keep the status quo. Now, as we begin this week, the situation in Nigeria continues to be of concern to all of us, including the international community. The Save Nigeria group, for instance, has vowed to launch what it called the mother of all protests this week, starting from this Wednesday when the Federal Executive Council holds its meeting. Now, as a Nigerian,